Bismillah. Peace, everyone. We are now entering the Zen Zone. How's everybody doing? So, I've got the Zen Zone streaming from my phone right in front of me. And if you could hear my voice, it's because I also have it on my laptop so I could hopefully see the comments a lot better. If I can just make this a little bigger. How's everybody doing though? We can wait a second as we wait for people to roll in. I see there's about 5 people. If you would like, please announce yourself in the chat. I'd love to know who I'm communicating with. There we go. Come on, y'all, don't be shy. After Twilight says, hello, Zewdy. Peace, greetings. Thank you for joining us today. I hope y'all are feeling the vibes. Jamon says, hey, Zozo. Peace, Jamon. All right. Well, I'd like to just get started as usual, giving thanks to our Creator for the opportunity to experience and witness His marvelous creation, and for allowing us to connect for a higher purpose, addressing the current state of things while rising above and transcending the chaos of this wicked world, finding balance, being uplifted, and getting grounded. We thank you. Amen. Shamanique says, greetings. Hey, girl. So, I want to thank Jamon for his monetary contribution, donation. It seems like he is a weekly donor, and I truly do appreciate it. I have a couple of things that I want to discuss today, and so we can just get right into it. And if you all have anything that you want to talk about, feel free to drop it in the chat, and when I get to it, then we can get into it. So, despite the chaos of this world and what's going on, life still goes on. And so I pray that all of us are doing the best that we can to stay uplifted, stay in a positive state of mind, and finding balance between relaxation and productivity. Everything in life has a balance, and just as much as work is important, rest is also important. So I pray that you are feeling uplifted and optimistic despite what seems like negative circumstances, because we can always find ways to transmute negativity into a positive situation. So like a lot of people are out of work and struggling to make ends meet. People are having to decide between what's more important financially to take care of. And so this is an opportunity for us to find ways to do for self, find ways to provide a service or create a product or something that would benefit others, and at the same time provide a way for you to make a living. So personally, that's the journey I'm on, and other people I know are also on that same journey. And I pray that we will be successful, and I believe that we will be, because our hearts are in the right place, our intentions and our motives are pure, and there's nothing wrong with making money doing those kind of things. I mean, in the world that we live in, we need money, obviously. So it's better to do something like that, something positive that contributes to your society, community, or whoever it is that you may be serving, as opposed to, you know, doing something that isn't serving anyone, and you spending so much of your time not building something for yourself or anyone. That is part of this old world that is moving out. Eventually that won't be the way of the world, because it's not conducive to nature, and it's not conducive to God's law. The world that we live in is just not it. So I pray that all of us can help to usher in the new world by doing things that are conducive to nature and God's law, and fulfilling and satisfying at the same time. So the war on SJWs is in the building. Big Z. After Twilight says, Zewdy, I want to see your wink today, please. It's so playful. I'm not going to wink. And honestly, if you ask me to wink again, I may remove you from this, because I don't want to wink. You may have seen me wink in a past video, my cover videos, but you know, I'm just in a different place in my life, and I don't want to wink, because I'm not feeling playful in that way, and I don't ever want to give off flirtatious vibes, because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to have fun, and I'm here to connect with all of you lovely people, and you know, I pray that you all can respect that. All right, so recently a good friend of mine that I have known for over 2 decades now, she recently moved here very, very close to me, and it's been such a joy being able to see her and spend time with her, as well as with her children, one of which is my godson. So, you know, it's really cool. And I've really been enjoying my time with her. You know, we sit outside in nature and sip our coffee and our tea and have very productive conversations. And I observe her, you know, her home life, her domestic life. She with her man and their children. It's just a beautiful thing to see. 2 black people, a man and a woman, with their children, raising their children, and even the way that they together, the man and the woman, help one another. There was something that my homegirl shared with me about her relationship with her man, and it really touched me, because it was just an indication of how, when you have somebody good in your life, how they can really be a positive and motivating force within your life. Shout out to Aaliyah. At your best. It's real though. So she was telling me basically that when they first met, he wasn't really like the healthiest person in terms of what he was consuming, his food and things like that, but she helped him. She showed him a better way of living, and before he would have different pains and things that were a result of the lifestyle and his eating habits and things like that. And then as a result of them, you know, being together and her showing things to him, he's really changed. His physical condition has changed, and he is such a good man to her and a good father to their children. He doesn't even want her to work. He's a man. And he works hard to provide for them, and he has business aspirations of his own, as does she. And I believe that in time and with preparation and planning and strategizing and all of that, that they both will accomplish and establish what they will. But yeah, it was just such a beautiful thing to learn from her, sharing their journey together, as well as just observing them interacting with one another. And they're just really good people, and I'm really thankful and grateful that I get to observe and witness this Black love, this Black family. It's very beautiful. I'm honestly getting kind of emotional thinking about it. Oh, Dallas Kid 100's in the building. He says, "Hey yo, what's good?" Broken Riku Bell says, "Hello all, peace. Thank you for joining us." But yeah, it's such a beautiful thing, and I'm really happy that we live very close, because during these COVID times, as I've mentioned in past videos, I'm still sheltering in place, so I don't go out unless I really need to. I need to go get something from a grocery store or something like that. So I haven't really been interacting with people much, other than saying hi to my neighbors when I water my plants. But this good friend of mine lives so close that we can see each other often, and I love spending time with her children. Her oldest, which is he's about 9 now, and I've known him since before he was born. It's just amazing to see his growth, and he's so intelligent, and I think it's really good for my spirit too, like just to be around them, because they're like family to me. And I'm a very, very family oriented person, and I don't live with any of my family. Like, all of my biological family are up north in New Jersey and New York. So I'm out here on an island. But I do have good friends that live around, that I would see from time to time, and they're like family to me, and I'm very thankful and grateful for that. But to have my good friend, my sister, live so close that we can see each other all the time when we're not busy, and we can spend time, it's just very, it's nourishing to my spirit, I would say. And 2 of her children are very young, they're babies, so that's also very nourishing. And I'm hoping that spending time with them can really curb my baby fever, because I'm not in the position to start my own family at this time, but I would like to do it someday. And I love babies. I love nurturing. So yeah, I get to do that. So I'm thankful to Allah for that. Nadaria says, "Literally love you. Been watching you since you started." Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining us in this live today. It's, quite different from what I started doing on YouTube. But, you grow, and the things that you do change. And not that I stopped singing. I want to clear the air and bust up that rumor, because there's a lot of people who think that because I don't post covers on YouTube, and that because I am a Muslim, that I've stopped singing. And that's totally untrue. I still sing. I sing every day. Things have changed within my career structure, and I'm still figuring things out, how to move forward. But inshallah, I do believe that I'm gonna get the ball rolling sooner than later. And one of the things that I aspire to do is build a home studio so that everything can be in-house and I won't have to really depend on others to really get things going. Like, of course, you know, I'm gonna work with people, producers, engineers, writers, other artists, but as far as having the space and the equipment and all that kind of stuff, those kind of resources I would like to have for myself. And these days it doesn't really take too much, but I want it to be good enough, and I want it to be as high quality as I can get it, without, you know, breaking my pockets. So I'm working on it. I got a few things. I got a mic, and I probably need another computer because my computer is pretty old, and yeah, it's not gonna work out that well. So how's everybody doing? Dallas Kid 100, he has connected with me on Instagram, where I just, you know, I promote this and I ask people, you know, what's on your mind or what you want to talk about. And he said something along the lines of, like, he's realizing how so many people don't realize or don't know the importance of being honest with yourself. Dallas Kid 100, feel free to correct me if I didn't word that accurately, but it's so important. And I think, you know, authenticity, true authenticity, starts with self. You can't be authentic and transparent out in the world in front of people if you're not being that with yourself first. Otherwise, it's not genuine. It's not authentic. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to tell everybody everything about you. Like, no, you know, some things are personal and private, and it's perfectly okay to keep those things to yourself. But as far as, you know, who you are, your character, just who you really are, how you, I guess, portray or display yourself to the world, should be a reflection of who you really are. And who you really are, if you're not being real with yourself, if you're not being honest with yourself, you are really holding yourself back from so much growth and development and self-discovery. Because as long as you have air in your lungs, you can grow, you can evolve, you can learn so much, you can change if you want to in a myriad of ways. But if you're not being honest with yourself about how you feel, the thoughts that you think, especially when it comes to yourself, that is a major hindrance. It's a major blockage. And I'm speaking from experience because, you know, in the past, I hadn't been honest with myself. I hadn't been real with myself because the truth of what I thought and how I felt was so painful that I suppressed a lot of it. I was distracting myself from those feelings of insufficiency and being lonely and things like that. And so I really held myself back for a long time, and it's not a good feeling. But you have to face those things. You shouldn't run from difficulty. Difficulty and struggle is ordained for the believer. And when you run from difficulty, you don't overcome it, you don't defeat it, you don't get rid of it. It's still there. You try to avoid it, you try to run away from it, you try to suppress it. It's still there. So, you know, when you face it, when you decide that you're going to confront these difficult and uncomfortable feelings and thoughts, then you're really on your way to healing. You're on your way to having better thoughts and feelings in a very real way. You have to confront those things. You have to. Otherwise, you can try to fake the funk all you want to. It's not going to do anything. You can front to people in the world, you know, your friends, social media, all that kind of stuff. But when you are by yourself, inside of your mind and in you, like, you're still that unhappy, dissatisfied, depressed person with those thoughts and those feelings. And it won't get better until you confront the truth of how you feel and what you think, especially pertaining to self. Everything starts with self. Everything. Let's see. Dale Mollenhauer, greetings. Hopte, aka Daddy, says peace. Peace. Thank you for joining us. Somebody on Instagram submitted a comment. It wasn't necessarily a question or a topic, but she said to me that she appreciates seeing my growth. And I appreciated that comment because I know that there are people out here that have been watching me for a long time. Some pay attention more than others. But if you have really been paying attention, then you know and you see that I'm the same person. I'm Zewdy. I'm just a more mature, refined version of that same person. But the core of me is the same. And so thank you, sister, for that comment. I really appreciate it. And I pray that I continue to grow and I continue to be more and more who I was created to be and align with my divine purpose. Let's see. Peace, Muhammad. Dallas Kid 100 says, it took me a long time to say I am not okay. And that was okay, LOL, but for real. It's true, you know? And things like social media, because it gives us this perceived access into people's lives. You know, most people just show the good times and, you know, those type of things. And I think sometimes it can affect us in a way where we feel like if we're not having good times and happy times all the time, then something's wrong. And it's just not true, you know? Ups and downs, that's life. It's a part of life. And in the Quran it says that after difficulty comes ease. But you have to face that difficulty. You gotta be real about it, you know? That's when the ease will come after that. And after that, more difficulty comes. But that's life. You know, I've been feeling very optimistic and in a generally positive state of mind, state of being. And I'm really thankful for that because it has taken me a long time to get here. I used to have really bad anxiety and I guess like fear for the future and, rooted in feelings of insufficiency and insecurity because of things that I believed about myself that I know now are not true. And because of that, it was hard for me to be optimistic. And our minds are so powerful that the things that we really focus on and the type of thoughts that we entertain, those are the experiences that we will continue to attract and manifest. That's why it's so important to confront those things so that you can change them. If you don't confront them, you're going to continue to have these negative thoughts, negative experiences. And, let's see. Oak Hill Sailor says, when you have a lot of negative people around you, that's what happens. You become anxious. Yeah, that's true. Everything that you take in, you have to be considerate of and mindful of. So whether that's the food you eat, what you read, what you watch, what you listen to, the type of people around you, the type of conversations you're having with people, all of that affects you on a vibrational level. And when you have negative people or people that are on a very low vibration around you, and you notice that the type of conversations that they want to have are just, senseless. If it's gossip, if it's, focusing on lack and focusing on the negative headlines and all that kind of stuff. When you have conversations that are focused on that, it's only gonna affect you negatively. It'll bring you down as well. So you have to protect yourself. You got to protect your energy. And that's, one of the ways is to really limit that. If, eliminate it if you can, but limit it. And you can even, tell people that this ain't what you want to talk about. Like, I'm not on that. The War on SJW says, how do you stop caring about what people think of you? That's a good question. So for me, what helped me to stop caring so much about what people think of me is when I really started to learn about God and learn about my relationship with God and learn about who I am. I really wanted to be someone that was true to myself and would be pleasing to the Creator who gave me my life. And the more that I focused on that and geared my studies and my actions on that basis, the less I cared about what other people thought. I'll give you an example. So before I knew God, before I was spiritual really at all, I really did care about what people thought of me, especially the Ethiopian Eritrean communities, because I felt this lack. I felt this feeling of not being enough because I don't speak any of the languages fluently, and up until a certain point I had never been to Ethiopia, and so I would be trying my hardest to kind of prove myself by wearing the colors and just representing, like repping real hard. Like some of y'all know, y'all have seen my journey. I was repping Ethiopia and Eritrea with the flags in the background and all that kind of stuff. And it was never enough. Never. Like, yeah, there were people who loved me because just my DNA. They're like, yeah, she's Ethiopian. We love her. But there were always naysayers. There were always people judging me, telling me I wasn't a real Ethiopian, and saying things like, like my presentation or my representation was not an authentic, like an authentic representation of an Ethiopian person. Like they would just tell me I was not a real Ethiopian, not a real Eritrean. A lot of Eritreans, they thought that I was pretending that I was part Eritrean, that I was just doing that so I could get their fans, get them to be my fans. And I'm like, why would I lie about this? My father is Eritrean, my mother is Ethiopian. And so I was trying so hard, and it really used to hurt my feelings. Like, it hurt my feelings so much because of that insecurity that I felt. I felt so, like, for a while, I guess, like I had an identity crisis, and I already felt like I wasn't enough, and they were fueling that. They were fueling it. So when I started building my connection with God and really focusing on that, learning the knowledge of God, and the knowledge of God and the knowledge of self is one and the same. That is something from the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So that says something, but we'll get to that at another time. Focusing on that really helped me to reprioritize, what's important. So as long as I am striving and moving in a way that God is pleased with and that I'm pleased with within myself, like, that's all that matters. So if there are people who dislike me for this or that or whatever, as long as I didn't do something to intentionally hurt or offend anyone, I don't care. Like, I really don't care what anybody thinks about me, because I know who I am now, and I know to a certain degree why I exist, why I'm here on this earth. And it's not to please everyone. If I am someone who looks to the prophets and the messengers of God, and when you think about their journeys and how they were hated on, they were sought after, ill-spoken of in those ways, I can expect some of the same, and it's okay, because I don't care to be loved by the wicked. I don't. Not saying that everybody's wicked, but you feel what I'm saying. And for those who love me, for those who appreciate me, I appreciate it. But at the same time, it's not something that I crave. It's not something that I think would fill a void. Because I used to have that. I used to have a void where I just wanted everybody to like me. And even in my school days, where I didn't go to school with Ethiopians or Eritreans at all, I went to school, a very diverse place, but I always gravitated towards black people, whether they were black in America, from the Caribbean, from Africa. I always just gravitated towards them, because from a young age I understood that I'm black, you black, we black. But even with my black brothers and sisters from America, I experienced rejection, and it hurt me so much. It hurt me so much, because I wanted their acceptance, and I wanted them to think, good of me or well of me. But that's a whole nother thing. As I got older, I really came to understand what it was that caused that rejection. And, as an insecure child, it really affected me. But I'm really thankful to Allah that I don't hold any resentment towards those people, and that it didn't turn me into a bitter person. In fact, I would say those experiences increased my compassion for humanity, especially for black people and black girls and women specifically. There's a lot about that that I can get into if you guys would like, but um, I will say I don't really care anymore about who likes me, who doesn't. I love my people, so even if there are pockets of them or some who don't like me without a cause, may Allah be with them, and may they be blessed with the light of understanding, if it be His will. Let me see what's going on here. How did you feel when you received your ex? That's what Dallas Kill 100 asked. Now, for those of you who don't know what he's referring to, as a member of the Nation of Islam, after going through the process to become a registered member, I received my ex. We get an ex, which represents the unknown, and also for those who may have a slave name, it's to remove their slave name and it's replaced with an X, which represents the unknown. As you know, I don't have a slave name because my family is directly from Africa, from Ethiopia and Eritrea. So my last name, Awa Alom, is an original name. It's not an Arabic holy name, but it's an original name. So I keep my name, but I wear my X because I want people to know. I don't want people to get it twisted. I am a Muslim in the Nation of Islam. That's why I wear my X, and I wear my X proudly. And when I received my X, I was overwhelmed with gratitude and joy that I had successfully completed the process to join the Nation of Islam. And I have no hesitation in letting people know. That's one thing that I want everyone to know. Anyone who ever meets me or is aware of my existence in this world, I want them to know that I am a Muslim follower of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I have no qualms about that. So yeah. Zewdy X. After Twilight says, is the law of attraction real, and could it lead to solipsism? I don't know what solipsism is. Can you explain that? Is the law of attraction real? Yes, it is a real law. I wouldn't say that I'm an expert on it, but I do believe I have somewhat of an understanding of it. And when what I was speaking on earlier regarding the power of our mind and our thoughts, what you focus on grows, but you must be aware and really conscious of what it is you're truly focusing on, because you might have a desire and there's the lack of the thing that you desire, right? You might think you're focusing on the thing that you desire, but oftentimes you focus on the lack. And when you focus on that lack, then that is more of what you experience. That's more of what you attract and manifest into your life. But when you really focus on the desire and you move in ways that help you to facilitate attaining that desire, then you attract it. And the law of attraction also deals with resistance and allowance. Resistance is often the thing that prevents you from attracting what it is that you desire. And oftentimes that resistance is built up. There's momentum to the resistance because of focusing on the wrong thing. But when you are easy about it, when this is why it's so important to gear your mind to think positively, and also to feel good. Do your best to feel good. When you feel good and you're thinking positively, then you are more open. You're in a more receptive mode to good things, to positive experiences. and more experiences that cause you to feel good. Yeah, that's why in the morning when you wake up, it's a great time to really set the tone for your day. That is why it's so good to pray when you get up in the morning. It's good to meditate, because when you start your day in gratitude and in peace, it really does set the tone for the day. It really helps to get yourself mentally and emotionally ready to do whatever it is that you want to do in the day. Let's see. What are your thoughts on Nick Cannon's statements? Well, as far as his interview with Professor Griff, I know that what he said was, looked at as controversial, but he didn't say anything that was truly anti-Semitic. That is something that what we would call the imposter Jews would use, even with the minister, calling Minister Farrakhan anti-Semitic when he's never done or said anything that is truly anti-Semitic. They use that when a segment of them are being criticized for different things that have happened, different things that they have done, for even just saying something as simple as they control the media. How is that anti-Semitic when most people these days know that to be a fact? They control the media, they control Hollywood, How is that anti-Semitic? These imposter Jews are they position themselves in a way to where they are above criticism, or at least that's the way that things go. And if you criticize them, if you say anything that sheds a negative light on them, they will strip you of everything you have, especially if you're dependent on them for your livelihood, for your business. And that's what we saw. So that's my thought on it. I don't know if you've seen, but Nick Cannon recently had a rabbi on his Cannon's class show. So he was talking with a rabbi. And this rabbi was spewing the same misconstrued rhetoric of the minister, things that they've been using for decades to discredit him and to label him an anti-Semite, when they are not really quoting what he actually said. So, it is what it is. The minister has cleared his name plenty of times in these false claims of anti-Semitism, and he has also challenged them. He has asked for a showdown, like, bring yourself and try to, whatever it is that you claim the minister says that is considered anti-Semitic, try to disprove anything that the minister has said. And they don't want to debate him. They don't want to sit down and have a conversation with him, because they know that he doesn't say anything anti-Semitic and that everything that he has said is the truth. They want to call him a bigot. They want to call him a racist. They want to call him an anti-Semite and a hater. But they can't call him a liar. And he's none of those things, by the way. So, all right. Dallas Kid 100 says, the law of attraction is always at work, if you are aware of it or not. But when you are aware of it, you can move in a positive frequencies within that law. Yes, that's very, very true. Most people are living on autopilot in life. So being unaware of the law of attraction and the power of our minds, our thoughts, and our feelings. You know, just going about life, just going about it unconsciously for the most part. And, you know, good things happen, bad things happen. Sometimes people stay in a very negative place because that's what they continue to focus on. They continue, and that's just all that they keep conjuring up. Not intentionally, but that's just the law. It's just how it happens. Yes. Okay. After Twilight says, sorry, let me bring this a little closer to me so I can read it. Solipsism, I hope I'm saying that right. Solipsism is when you think the world is centered around you and your ego, thus judging people and labeling them as either negative or positive, and using ignorance to make them disappear from your world. Okay, so let me see the last thing you said that dealt with that word. Is the law of attraction real, and could it lead to solipsism? Okay, solipsism is when you think the world is centered around you and your ego, thus judging people and labeling them. Well, I guess it depends on the individual, because everybody here on earth, everyone exists, everybody has their own lives. And Unsought 888 says everything is interconnected, which is true. So while I wouldn't say the whole world revolves around me and my ego or anything like that, you know, everybody is having their own unique individual experiences, and sometimes your lives are interconnected. Sometimes what you're doing may influence somebody else to a certain degree. So I mean, I can see how the law of attraction, the concept of it, could lead to solipsism for some people, but I don't think for all. I think that when you are focused on yourself and understanding that at the end of the day it all starts with self, then what other people are doing and how they affect you, you know, it, like I said, they can affect you to a certain degree, but it all starts with self. And so, you know, if you decide that you want to stop associating with certain people because you feel that they have a negative influence on you that's too strong for you to repel or reject or not be influenced by, then go ahead. You know, I don't see anything wrong with that, and I don't think that's necessarily egotistical or being inordinately focused on yourself, or, you know, I hope that answered your question. Israel Dejene says, I think the law of karma and the law of attraction both deal with a person bringing about certain events in their life, either through positive action or positive thought. Yes, but even negative. I don't think it's just positive. It's negative as well, because when you are negatively focused, you will attract and manifest negative things. And the law of karma is really essentially cause and effect. So you do something and then there's an effect. You may not see the effect immediately, or you may not understand it, but that's essentially what karma is. GQ Lewis says, hi Zewdy, hope you're doing well. Hi, it's good to see you. I feel like you haven't been in the building in a little while. Unsought 888 says, I call myself unsought because all my life Allah has brought people to me that need help. They need guidance, and I help them, and they move forward. And for this, karma has been good to me. Alhamdulillah. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. And I have similar testimonies. I strongly believe and feel and know that I am so blessed because of my desire and my willingness to help others whenever I can, however I can. You know, that's something that really is rewarding on so many levels. It feels really good to give. It feels good to help. And it really makes me feel, useful. It makes me feel like my time on this earth is worthwhile because I'm doing something that is benefiting someone. And because of that, I believe I've attracted many positive things into my life by Allah's permission. And I believe that Allah is pleased with those types of actions and those, that intention to help. And He helps me help others. He helps me. So praise be to Allah. I am so thankful that I don't, of course I have struggles, I have difficulties, but Allah always allows me to see them through. He always allows me to come up on top, and I'm a better person than I was for it all. So I'm just so thankful. I'm grateful to Allah for my life and everything in it. Yeah. Dallas Kid says, I completely agree with you, Z. The one thing people get wrong about the law of attraction is that it is a principle law. I see it more of a secondary law to the law of vibration. That's just my opinion. Well, that's interesting. I don't want to speak definitively on things that I don't necessarily have a thorough knowledge or understanding of, but the law of vibration, part of me feels like it's essentially the same thing as the law of attraction, because everything vibrates. Everything is emitting a vibrational frequency. Literally everything vibrates, and the frequency on which you vibrate determines the type of things that you attract into your experience and into your life. And so I don't know, one day maybe we'll have somebody more experienced, somebody more thorough in this knowledge on the Zen Zone, so we can discuss it. That would be pretty cool to do. But yeah, part of me wants to say that they're essentially the same. I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong, but that's what I feel. Okay, Unsought 888 says, it's a vibe. If you're riding the right wave, life is great. Even the bad is good. Open your eyes and look at force, the vibe energy. Yeah, your mind state really determines a lot of how your journey's gonna go. So even if you are a positive person generally, but then you experience something that's not so good, something that you would even consider negative, to ensure that you don't get so dragged down by that experience, it's okay to feel it. By all means, please feel what you feel. Allow yourself to feel. Feeling is healing. It is. Don't suppress your feelings, please. But allow yourself to feel sadness or grief or anger, whatever it is that you may be feeling in that moment. But don't allow yourself to dwell in those negative feelings. Feel them, because your emotions serve you. your emotions, in a sense, they guide you into understanding where you're at. Like, oh, dang, this thing really hurt me. But you can always learn from your negative experiences. And you may not learn immediately, but if you are patient and humble and mindful, you can learn from anything. Anything that, life is here to teach us so many things, from the good and the bad. So, yeah. My father says, dangerously in love, listen or stand up for love. Take your pick. Well, I did stand up for love last week. And I don't know if I want to do any of those songs. So you can request something else. Israel Dejene says, but sometimes I think it's just a scam. It's basic psychology that if you are positive, then the people around you will respond accordingly. The amount of money made from books about the law of attraction is unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's a scam, but I think that because so many people are unaware of what you would say is basic psychology, they're unaware of how powerful the mind is. That's why these books sell, and a lot of people have benefited from the information in these books or in these people who are sharing information on the internet now. I don't focus too much on the laws in that way. I'm aware of them, but my focus and my intention is always to do things from a very pure place, out of love, and that moving like that always serves me. It serves me well because those are I would say very great intentions and motivations to have. Not to say that I'm perfect, but I'm striving to be a more perfect version of myself all the time. So law of attraction and all that kind of stuff, it's great, but because of the way that I think and the way that I move, and keeping Allah in the forefront of my mind, it's gonna serve me. Everything is always working out for me, and the universe is always working in my favor. I believe that. I know that. I bear witness to that, because no matter what happens, no matter what I experience, there's always something that I can learn from it, and I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay. So, the war on SJW says, have you thought about becoming a minister for the nation? No. I have not thought about becoming a minister for the nation. Ministry, I don't know if that is a part of my calling. It could be, because sometimes when I really know what I'm talking about and I'm very passionate about it, then I can articulate myself well. But I don't see myself being an official minister for the nation. But I can only pray that my representation of the nation is a proper one. I pray that it is. Gotta be careful, because I know that I'm just one person and I'm an individual, but I'm a part of something. I'm a part of something very, very beautiful and special, which is this mighty nation of Islam. And I never want to do or say anything that would misrepresent, that is something I never want to do. So that requires much study and prayer, so that I can be a better and better representation every time you see me. You know, because I do understand that while I am an individual, because I am part of something, that I don't just represent myself when I'm before people. So that's just my thoughts on the ministry thing, you know. Oh my gosh, it's 6:45 already? Oh my goodness. That's why my dad is talking about the song. Dallas Kid 100 says, you and Brother Ben X are great representatives to me. Well, praise be to Allah. I really, really appreciate that, you know. Brother Ben X, that's my brother. You know, he's doing such a great work. He's a great representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. He's teaching people so many things, skills, so that they can do for self and really take advantage of technology. And, you know, at the same time, he's sharing the teachings, but, you know, do for self, that is a very, very nation thing. So yes, shout out to my brother Ben X, doing big things. Make sure you follow him if you don't already, on Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. I can't believe it's already been an hour. Wow. Oh, by the way, y'all, I got a new tripod and I'm using it right now, and it's really cool. It has like this ring light around it, so you know my lighting is on point right now thanks to this new tripod that's very stable. It's holding my phone properly and all that good stuff. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so today I decided to wear even less makeup. Right now I just have eyeshadow on and lip gloss and mascara. So it's just eyes and lips. I don't have nothing on my cheeks. I don't have nothing anywhere else. And I like this. You know, I like this look. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I've never been a big makeup person, but I started experimenting with the makeup during quarantine because I was just home and just kind of like, you know, just doing it because I had the extra time. And you know, I felt like I was really mastering a glam, not necessarily a soft glam. It was a little harder than a soft glam, but a very good friend of mine encouraged me to really lighten it up because I don't need makeup, and I know that. But this friend really encouraged me and was saying, you know, that they like my face. So I was like, all right, cool. Let me do less. let me do it less and less. So I do like it, and you know, I've been on a cleanse, so my skin is really like, my skin is popping. My skin is glowing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very happy. I've been drinking a lot of water, and I've been on basically a vegan diet. Not only is it vegan, but it's gluten-free, wheat-free, low starch vegetables, and I haven't been eating sweet fruits like that. The fruits I've been consuming are avocado, peppers, tomatoes. Yes, they are fruits, but yeah. And then I've been eating vegetables, spinach, cauliflower, cucumber, which is also a fruit technically. I'm kind of laughing at myself at the way I said cucumber. Cucumba. What else have I been eating? I'm like, oh, carrots. And yeah, my skin is very happy. My body is happy. I got mad energy. You know, I feel really good. GQ Lewis says, I like the background track. What is it called? This background track is 417 hertz. Remove all negative energy in and around you. And I'm playing it on YouTube from Meditative Mind. They have really good stuff on there. They have really, really, really good tracks for meditation or sleep or whatever. Let's see. The War on Social Justice Warriors says, I agree. Thank you. A Dallas Kid 100 says, now we only have one inside, and that's joke about you not having a song ready. I have a song in mind, but I'm wondering, did I do the song already? Feel free to suggest a song. You know, I'm gonna stay on here for a little longer. Unsought 888 says, gold and cream colors look good on you. Thank you. I really like earthy colors. I like all colors, honestly, but I find myself gravitating more towards earthy stuff. GQ Lewis says, some Michael Jackson, please. Boy, oh boy. Before I wrap this thing up, another thing I guess I kind of wanted to mention, or, you know, things going on via life experience. I've been having like a plumbing issue, and I'm on my third plumber right now because the first one wasn't a real plumber, and the second one just doesn't seem to be very reliable. So I'm on the third one and just trying to work things out and see, you know, when is a good time that he can come through and fix this issue. But the house that I live in is a pretty it's relatively old, and you know, just needs some upgrades, and it's just that's just part of life. And you know, thinking about the principle of it, things when things may have a strong foundation but have been through a lot over time, and you need to upgrade, you need to evolve, you know, keep up maintenance, you know, as time goes on. So that was something I was thinking about, because this house is pretty old. It needs some upgrading. So Minister Zewdy, I'm speaking it into existence. What? Please, I mean, if it be the will of Allah, then hey, whatever Allah's will is for me, I appreciate. I will accept whatever it is. Not a real plumber. That is so funny. He wasn't, honestly. It was like, he may be able to probably fix a very minor issue, but my issue, it was not super major, but trying to get him to identify where the issue was, and then like we won't have to go into the wall, like cut the wall open to do some stuff. He ain't even know how to cut the wall. I'm like, what kind of plumber are you that you can't open a wall? Talking about, if once you get somebody to open the wall, then we'll come back. And I'm just like, really? No, sir. Please. Ugh. there is a pandemic of people claiming to be electricians or mechanics these days. That is funny as hell to me. Listen, I mean, it might be funny in some cases, but when you are personally affected and you need a service, I mean, this ain't funny. And this dude, he was a referral from somebody else that said his brother was a plumber or whatever, but he's not legit. No. So are and you still have to pay? I'm not paying nobody nothing that didn't do what they was supposed to do. Unfortunately, I did got with that first dude because he claimed to fix the issue and told me to call him if it didn't get fixed. And it didn't get fixed. And then after that, he was talking about all this other stuff, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, nope, I don't trust you anymore. And really, he should give the money back, but whatever. May Allah deal with him as he ought to be dealt with. Does the Holy Quran speak about how to deal with racism? Specifically with racism, I can't say, but I know that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that there is no superiority of the white over the black or the Arab over the non-Arab. So I thought you are Ethiopian Jew. No, I'm not an Ethiopian Jew. I am a Muslim in the Nation of Islam. So, are all hearts and minds clear before I wrap this thing up? And if you want to connect with me on other platforms, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Just type in Zewdy, you'll find me. Why do some believe you're not black? Who believes that? I don't know who believes I'm not black. I mean, I know that there are some Ethiopians who don't consider themselves black. They think that they're other than black, and I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a self-hate type of thing because you can't deny your blackness. We may look different than other black people, but the thing is about blackness is that we are the most ethnically diverse people on this planet, and we have so many different features when it comes to our facial features, our hair, our bodies, but we're all black. There's no one look to blackness. We're very diverse. We're the most diverse people. So, I mean, if there's anybody who will look at me and think I'm not black, either they're ignorant to what black is, or they're in denial of my blackness. I mean, I look black. Black looks like many things. Majorly detailed. So good to catch even a tiny bit of the Zen Zone. Thank you for tuning in. The war on social justice warriors, I think you mentioned it earlier. Well, I didn't, it's not that they didn't think I was black, but I was rejected because they perceived me as different. So, Abdul Kadir Ethiopia says, "Thank you, Zewdy. Thank you. What are you thanking me for?" I would just like to know, but I appreciate it and I received thanks. No Air Jordan Sparks. I regret to inform you that I don't remember those words. All right, y'all. I'm wrapping it up now. And let's see. Oh, where is the... Ooh. I'm not as hot today, which is pretty cool. But, you know, I don't think that I've heard from you all as far as how you're all doing. How are you feeling? How are things going where you are? You know, it doesn't seem like there's ever going to be a normal. Things are just changing in the world. And so how's everybody adjusting? Are you all working right now? Are things opening up where you are? Kaija, is that how you say your name? Kaija D? All good and getting used to new normal here in London. Well, that's good. I pray that you're staying safe and well. GQ Lewis says things are shutting back down in North Carolina. Dallas Kid 100 says still adjusting to this new normal. Yeah, you know, things are shutting down in a lot of places because people did not abide by the guidelines to socially distance and to wear masks and, you know, limit your interactions with people and going out unnecessarily. And so we see what they're referring to as a second wave. And, you know, it's unfortunate, but we know what we need to do to ensure our wellness. It's not worth the risk. You know, people want to party, people want to do all these things, and it's just like, for what? It's like the end of the world and people want to party. People want to do all kinds of foolishness. It's so biblical, you know, because that's what was happening in the scripture, you know, as the world was ending. So, though it's disappointing, it's not surprising. After Twilight says, they are calling it the Great Reset. basically getting rid of an old system and introducing a new, more evil one. Oh, the powers that be, those who currently control this wicked world, I'm sure that that is what they intend and what they plan. But they plan, and Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. So we will be the winner. The righteous will be the winner. And it may take some time. We're still in the beginning of sorrows. And it's going to get a whole lot darker before we see the light of a new day. So just know that we really haven't seen anything yet. And what we need to be doing right now is preparing ourselves, preparing our families and our loved ones for the darker days to come. That's why we have been instructed and advised by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to store foods in our homes and emergency supplies, particularly non-perishable items, and be very, very security minded, because there may come a time that we will really be confined to our homes, unable to leave for one reason or another, and we want to make sure that we're prepared and we have everything that we need to survive and make it through. So if you haven't already, please start storing non-perishable foods, canned goods and things like that in your homes. Store water, drinking water. Store first aid kits, batteries, flashlights. I feel like there's something key that I'm not mentioning. Just these emergency things that you would need. Burners, those, I guess, propane burners, I think they are, that you would be able to light and cook food on in case of not having electricity. Please just store these things for a future time, because that time may be coming sooner than we know. A time of famine, a time where people will be in a very desperate state, and it may not be safe to even travel outside of our homes. After Twilight says, I love you, girl. I love you too. Thank you for your love. Kinetic the Majestic says, we are the overcomers. That's right. As long as we do what we need to do, what we ought to do, we will be the winner. We will overcome the darkness. All things work for good for those who love the Lord. So we may see some things that do not look good, do not, we're going to see a lot more travesty, a lot more calamities. But in time, we're going to bring in a new world. We're going to bring in the kingdom of God, because that is his will. And his will cannot be frustrated or thwarted, no matter what the enemy does, no matter what anybody does. His will be done. Can I get an amen? So I am hopeful, I am faithful, I am optimistic about the future. And I pray to be someone who helps to contribute in ushering in that new world, and amen, minister. Yes, so I want to be one who helps Allah bring in that new world, His kingdom. So even if I don't live long enough to see it, at least I devoted my life to ensuring that process, so that maybe my children or my children's children will be able to really see it come into fruition, you know, inshallah. Everything in divine timing. Can you please sing Aliyah? I think that's a good one, a good request. At your best. Oh my gosh, were you here earlier? Because I quoted it. That's funny. I feel like, there are no coincidences. I may do that song. All right. Let me stop the music for a second. All right. That's really funny though. Those of you who have been here from the beginning of the broadcast can bear me witness that I was talking about relationships, and I had mentioned when you have like a good person in your life, how they can really be a positive and motivating force within your life. Word to Aaliyah, at your best. And I mean, I definitely said that. Okay. So I think that's a good one to end this on. Thank you for that. Okay. Let me know, let me know. Let me know, let me know. When I feel what I feel, sometimes it's hard to tell you so. You may not be in the mood to learn what you think you know. There are times when I find you wanna keep yourself from me. When I don't have the strength, I'm just a mirror of what I see. But at your best, you are love. You're a positive, motivating force within my life. Should you ever feel the need to wonder why, let me know, let me know. Whoa. Let me know. All right. Whew, I feel like I haven't had anything to drink this whole time. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I want to thank Jamond again. I would like to thank majorly detailed for your monetary contributions. I truly, truly appreciate them. If anybody would like to support me monetarily, all of my links are in the description for my Cash App, my PayPal, my Venmo, and I also have an Amazon list in my description that has some little gadgets and doohickeys that will help my creative process. So feel free, no donation is too small or too large. Oh yeah, and there's super chats on YouTube, which you can do as well, but YouTube takes a percentage of that, just to let y'all know. So if you want to donate directly, the links are in the description all the way at the bottom. Thank you guys so much for your time, for your energy, for your conversation, for your presence, for everything. I truly, truly do appreciate this time we have together and connecting. I don't take it lightly at all. This is a great opportunity for us to co-create positive, spiritual conversation, which will eventually turn into actions fueled by these conversations and the things, that we discuss as we turn them in our minds. Because, I think about these conversations throughout my week, and I think about things that I want to discuss with you all to help us stay uplifted and grounded, during these times. So I pray that something that I've said here was helpful and beneficial to all of you in some way. I know that this conversation has been beneficial to me and has me thinking about different things. And I just really enjoy being able to connect, virtually. One of the many blessings about technology, that we find ways to overcome, the limits that have been placed on us because of COVID and quarantining and such. So yeah, I'm really thankful and grateful. Thank you for your love. I pray that you can feel the love and the joy emanating from my being. I'm blasting you all with my heart chakra right now. Thank you so, so much. And if you want to connect with me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, just type in Zewdy. I'm there. I communicate with you all there. I will, entertain the conversation so we can continue to build and grow. And yeah, so thank you for entering the Zen Zone. Again, I'm Zewdy, the curator of the Zen. Thank you for your time. And until next time, peace.